If you've ever laid your head on your pillow at night and thought, I don't know how much longer I can keep doing this homeschool thing, this conversation is for you. Stick around if you also want to get a simple burnout prevention plan. I'm Teresa Wiedrich, the graduated homeschool mom turned certified life coach for homeschool moms. And today we need to talk about the real reason you might burn out. And I'm not talking about choosing the wrong curriculum or whether your kids are fighting too much. They probably are, but that's not the point. It's also not about whether you're doing all of this right. I'm talking about the sneaky, hidden patterns that drain your energy, steal your peace, and leave you feeling like you're disappearing, even though you're busier than you've ever been. Before we get into the 3 hidden reasons, I want to tell you about a homeschool mom named Maya. It's not a real name, but it is a real story, 100% real. And I have a feeling you're going to see yourself in it. Maya is a homeschool mom of 5 kids, age 13, 11, 7, 6, and 4. Her 11-year-old has ADHD and needs a lot of support, like can't really work independently, even though she's 11. Maya also teaches at co-op every Tuesday, not just her own kids, a lot of other kids. And her aunt lives near her. And though she loves the support she gets from her aunt, especially after her mom passed away, this aunt is aging and needs help, like doctor's appointments and groceries and just checking in on her. So Maya does all that too. And recently, her husband pulled her aside and said, Honey, you need help. You're overwhelmed. Maybe you should talk to somebody. And you know what? This is what Maya said. This isn't my season. This season is about the kids. And the reason I'm here today is because I've noticed a trend in the last few weeks. I'm hearing that a lot. It's that phrase, this isn't my season. And I think that sentence, that belief, it's where so many of us get stuck. I think the hidden reason number one we burn out is because, well, we reduce ourselves to just mom and we lose our sense of separate self, our full identity. Okay, so Maya says this isn't my season. This season is about the kids. And I get it. I really do. Because we love our kids. We chose to homeschool them. We're invested. We totally want to be here. But here's what I need you to hear. And I'm going to say it as gently and clearly as I can. You are always in your season. I'm going to say that again. You are always in your season. What's really happening when we say, this isn't my season? I think we're collapsing our identity, our separate sense of self, who we are apart from this role of mom, into mom. And when we do that, when we reduce ourselves to just a role, you can only see problems through that lens. You can only address the kids' needs. You've made yourself invisible in your life. But here's what's important. You're a whole human being with needs and dreams and energy levels and limits and preferences. There's things that light you up and there's things that drain you. And when you ignore all of that, 3 things happen. First, you're actually modeling something to your kids that I don't think you want them to learn. You're teaching them that mothers don't matter, that women exist only to serve everyone else, that it's normal and it's good to erase yourself for other people. Is that what you want your daughter to learn? Is that what you want your son to think a healthy woman looks like? Second, you become less effective as a mom. And I know that can sound harsh, but just give me a second here just to explain myself. You can't teach patience when you have none left. You can't model presence when you've forgotten what it's like to be present in this moment. You can't be fully present when you're running on absolute empty anyway. And the third thing is the thing that I think is the worst, that you lose the very parts of yourself that make you a good mother. Your creativity, your curiosity, maybe your sense of humor, if you remember having one, the wisdom that you have, all of that just goes into survival mode. So when Maya told me she was struggling to get all the things at home done, and when I asked her, well, what brings you life? She actually couldn't answer. She literally could not think of anything. She'd forgotten. And that is the first hidden reason for burnout. You reduce yourself to just mom, and you can't sustain a life where you don't exist. Hidden reason number 2 is that you're confusing self-sacrifice with good mothering. Okay, so let's talk about what Maya actually does in a week. She teaches a lot of kids at co-op. She shows up for her aunt's appointments and manages her kiddos' ADHD challenges, the meltdowns, the focus struggles, the constant need for redirection. She's planning a lot of stuff for 4 different grade levels, of course. She's cooking and cleaning and managing the household and breaking up sibling fights and answering a million questions a day, all the stuff I know you know. And when her husband, the person who knows her best, who sees her every day and is addressing her text messages when she's frustrated, says, "You need help," she brushes it off because this season is about the kids. But here's what is true too. Self-sacrifice is not good mothering. In fact, I think they're opposite. Kids who grow up watching their mothers consistently self-abandon, ignore their needs, consistently put themselves last, those kids learn one of 2 unhealthy patterns. Either they learn that their needs don't matter because if mom's needs don't matter, why would theirs? Or they learn that their needs should always come first, that other people, especially women, mothers, sacrifice. They should always sacrifice. And neither of those creates healthy, resilient, emotionally intelligent adults. Good mothering isn't about erasing yourself. It's about showing up wholehearted. Someone who has needs and meets them. Someone who has boundaries and makes them happen. Someone who takes care of herself so she can genuinely fully care for others. Not because she has to, not because she's feeling guilt or doing it with resentment, but out of the overflow, because she actually has energy and creativity and a sense of humor still to do all those things. This Maya that I described to you, not her real name, she felt like she was failing. She felt like she was doing it all wrong. She was overwhelmed, and she was failing herself. She was failing herself because by believing that she was being a good mom, she was requiring herself to disappear into the wallpaper. And if you're sitting there thinking, but I just don't have time for myself, then I ask you this. Do you not have time? Or have you decided you don't deserve time? Because there is a difference between the two. And the hidden reason number 3 that you might be burning out is this. You believe that your season will magically change. It won't. Here's the lie so many people feel. And I've told it to myself because that is why I'm here. This is why I began coaching. I believe this too, so I'm not judging. But we need to call it out. This lie is that once the kids are older, then it'll be my turn. I'll get to do things for myself. This isn't my season right now. Maya said those words, this isn't my season. In fact, I heard that 3 times last week with 3 different moms that do not know each other, have never met each other, I'm presuming. Of course, I wouldn't really know, but they're not anywhere near each other. And they've said the same things. But here's what I've learned after watching hundreds of moms wake up to realizing that they don't know themselves after many years. They don't know what they want or what they need. There is never a right season to start caring for yourself. Never. When the kids are babies and toddlers, you tell yourself they're little, they need me. I can't focus on myself right now. Of course, it makes sense. But then when they're in the difficult middle years, when homeschooling begins to be a little more challenging, requires more effort, it turns out kids are still there and they're pushing boundaries and you're questioning everything. You're like, wait, they're struggling. I can't drop the ball now. They need more of me than ever. And when they're teenagers, you think, these are the crucial years. I have to be fully present. I'll focus on me after they graduate. And then they do, they leave. And you wake up one day in a home on your own and you realize you don't even know who you are. You spent 18 years being mom and you have no idea what else you are. The season doesn't magically change. You do, or at least you need to. Maya's husband could see what she couldn't. And I've heard that often too, that oftentimes the partners, they know something's up. You got to deal. You got to do something with this. Her peace, her health, her joy, her presence, even her marriage, it was all exasperated, frustrated. Because when you're burnt out, everyone else is disadvantaged too. They feel it. Your kids, your spouse, everyone. The breakthrough for Maya came when I asked her this question. What if this is your season? What if it is right now, in the middle of everything, with the ADHD struggles and the co-op teaching and the aunt to take care of and everything? What if right now is exactly when you're meant to learn how to honor yourself? You don't wait for life to calm down to practice boundaries. You practice boundaries so life can calm down. You don't wait until you have margins to take care of yourself. They're not coming. You take care of yourself so you can create margin. That is how it works. I want you to consider the words that I'm sharing today if you want both a burnout prevention plan, keep yourself from burning out, or if you're having a hard time sleeping at night and wondering if you really should give up on this whole homeschooling thing. So do you want to know what happened with Maya? She actually listened to her husband, not because she suddenly believed she deserved something, but because she realized her kids were watching and she didn't want them to learn what she'd been teaching them. We didn't overhaul her entire homeschool and life. We didn't tell her to quit co-op. I didn't tell her to stop helping her aunt or give her the magic pill to stop her kids from bickering. We started with one simple question. Who are you beyond mom? And at first she couldn't answer. She literally sat in silence, tried to listen within, and give me a few phrases of things that she thought she wanted 10 or 15 years ago. But it was challenging for her. She didn't know what to say. She remembered she used to love reading. She completely stopped reading because she didn't have time. So she blocked out 15 minutes before bed, just 15 minutes. But she started reading again. She realized she needed movement to process her stress and anxiety. So she asked her husband to look after the kids while she got up a little earlier and went to the gym every morning. But here's the biggest one that she did. She stopped saying, "This isn't my season." And she started saying, "I matter in every season." And you know what happened? Her kids didn't fall apart. She thought they would, but they didn't. They didn't suffer. They didn't resent her. They actually became more independent because she stopped hovering out of guilt and started trusting them from confidence. They started seeing their mom as a person, not just as a servant. And that taught them respect and empathy and boundaries. Maya's overwhelm didn't disappear. She's still grappling with some things. Life didn't suddenly become simple, but she stopped feeling like, I can't do this. And she certainly stopped saying, this isn't my season. And I know she's not alone in this because I'm talking to a lot of homeschool moms. And listen to what another homeschool mom told me after we worked together in addressing some of her boundary issues. She said, talking with you started to help me get centered in myself so that I could understand some of the programs that ran in the background and made me who I am. And I see the anxieties that were getting in the way of me being fully present and open to what my daughter needs at this time. And it gave me the conviction that taking care of myself is the first most important step of caring for my people in my homeschool. Did you catch that? Taking care of herself didn't take away from her daughter. It actually made her more present, more open, more able to meet her daughter's needs. That is what boundaries do. They don't make life perfect. Kids tend to push back on boundaries at first, of course, but they make you more present in your life. So if you are sitting here feeling burned out or overwhelmed, like you're losing yourself in your homeschool life and you're just frankly done with homeschooling, if you've been telling yourself this isn't my season, if your husband or your best friend or someone important, that quiet voice inside you has been trying to tell you that you need support, listen to me, you don't need to try harder. You already have been. You actually need boundaries. I have created a free resource to help you get started in building your boundaries. It's called simply the Boundary and Relationship Building Checklist for Homeschool Moms. Inside it, you'll find daily practices to help you start your day with calm and intention. Also, weekly reflections to help you reconnect with your needs and understand the programs running in the back of your mind, too, that really influence how you're showing up in your homeschool and your life. And you'll find boundary strategies for building healthier, more respectful relationships with your kids, and even a few affirmations to give you the conviction that taking care of yourself is indeed the most important thing if you want to take care of others. You'll find the link below, so go download it now. And before you move on to the next video or get pulled away by your kids, or convince yourself you'll do it later, but then you don't. I think you can do more for this season than just getting through your days. You deserve to feel grounded and supported. You deserve to feel deeply connected to yourself and your family. And I want to ask you something. Leave a comment and tell me, have you ever told yourself this isn't my season? What would it mean to you to believe that this is, right now, this is your season? I read every comment, and I'd love to hear your story. Your story matters, and I'm here so that you don't feel alone in it. If this video was helpful for you, would you press the thumbs up and subscribe, and definitely let another friend know if she's in this place too? You can do this. You're not alone. I'll see you in the next video.